Good evening, and I welcome you to your transformative program, Politics and Beyond. It's such an exciting moment. Anytime I get a privilege to come your way every Mondays at 8 p.m. And it is simply because this is the only platform that we have that discusses the future of this nation. We discuss dispassionately without political bias or political lenses, how best we can build a better future for this country, if not for our sake, at least for the sake of the next generation and the children who are yet to be born. As always, you can get interactive with us using the social media platforms that we have on the screen, including the WhatsApp line on your screen. I am your host, Emmanuel, Jr., the Chief Crusader Against Corruption here in Ghana. Just 2-3 days ago, I think specifically 3 days ago, that's last week, Friday, Ghana celebrated another anniversary called the Independence Anniversary. Specifically, we were 69 years old. 69 years when we attained independence. It is always important for us to assess and find out whether we are making any significant inroads or we are not. And that is why this evening's conversation is dedicated to you, the viewer, which means that at the appropriate time, I will activate the phone lines for you to share your position with all of us. The question will be whether or not you are proud of the 69 years of the existence of this country called Ghana. And if you are not, what were you expecting that we would have achieved by now, for which we have not achieved yet? We'll dive into that after we've come back from the commercial break. But before we go for the commercial break, there's an interesting article that I chanced on, and I think it will be appropriate for me to share with all of us. And the reason why I'm sharing with all of us is because the contents most of you will associate with, but most importantly, knowing very well the caliber of individuals who are glued to their TV sets every Monday to watch this show, especially some or most of our leaders from government, the political circle and all that. I believe that if they hear this article, those that need to set up will set up. And for whatever reason, I'm not going to mention the author's name, but I'm going to read it. This is what it says. In this game called politics, we learn, unlearn, and relearn. Some of us are being maligned and paying the price simply for speaking the truth on this blue app. The moment you speak the truth, you are attacked and sometimes denied what you genuinely deserve, all because you dare to complain or question things that are not right. In this game called politics, some people will be used and will never receive anything for their sacrifices, while others will come later and enjoy the benefits. That is the reality many of us have come to understand. I have realized that stressing yourself too much in politics is not worth it. The more you complain, the more some people will try to hurt you or silence you. Sometimes the best response is silence, observation, and self-development. These days, I mind my business. I focus on building capacity, strengthening my mind, and adding value to myself, because at the end of the day, what truly belongs to me is me, not a political party, not positions, not titles. Everything that is happening today does not surprise me at all. I have been through a lot in this game called politics simply because I spoke my mind and stood by the truth. Life has taught me that not everyone will appreciate honesty, and not everyone will celebrate courage. So as you sit behind your phones and keyboards writing about people, remember one thing: watch your back. Politics is unpredictable, and the same road we all walk today can turn tomorrow. For me, I choose growth, wisdom, and peace of mind, because in the end, value, character, and competence will always outlive politics. Some of us are not in this journey just for positions. We are here to learn, grow, and become stronger than the system itself. And this is an article specifically for the NDC leadership. NDC should also understand that a time will come when they will struggle to find people who are willing to sacrifice and campaign with passion again. Because sometimes the way things turn out makes the sacrifices feel not worth it. Many people gave their time, energy, and reputation defending and campaigning for the party when it was not easy. Yet today, some of the very people occupying key positions in certain institutions were never seen anywhere when the struggle was ongoing. But when you raise these concerns, they quickly say you are jealous or bitter, when in reality, all you did was to speak the truth. Sometimes it is better not to complain at all. Just move on quietly, focus on yourself, and keep building your capacity. At the end of the day, positions come and go, but the value you build in your life or yourself can never be taken away. Those who truly sacrifice know themselves, and time has a way of revealing everything. For now, the best thing to do is to stay focused, keep growing, and let the future speak for itself. This is an article that came from, a party faithful. And I believe if you look at the content very well, you listen to the content very well, it gives a warning to the leadership of the NDC, especially those who are part of the government. And it also admonishes and gives advice to party members who may find themselves in a similar position. Find a way of focusing on yourself and developing yourself. Meanwhile, to the leadership, it is important for you to appreciate that majority of the NDC base are not happy with what is happening so far. Remember, some time back, I came on this platform to admonish that the goodwill is speedily eroding. Don't take it for granted. It is very, very, very true. You may want to take care of floating voters, but trust you me, you can only win elections in this country when your base is intact. Floating voters do not constitute more than 5%. Floating voters do not constitute even a quarter of your base. Strengthen your base, and even when you get half of the floating voters, in addition to your base that is strong and is happy, you can easily win an election. But today, the focus is on Ghana's 69th celebration, independence celebration. I have said that we have two types of independence, the political independence and the economic independence. We are going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we'll dive into Ghana's independence. But again, before we even activate the phone lines, I am asking the question, and you can send in your comments, you can send in your views whilst you wait for the phone lines to be activated. And the question is, are you proud of how Ghana has come so far? 69 years of Ghana's independence. What were you expecting that we would have been by this time? Stay tuned. I'll be right back.
The average human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
If a cry na menyisika, etia ye mefui.
Ehin fa na menya bosia, edia tre medwuma yimu.
Kai kra mabre ni yebusia ato taxi foforo. Suhum Rural Bank.
Suhum Rural Bank.
Yema kwa baba Suhum Rural Bank. Ye won hyehyɛ ahodo bi te sɛ dwadifo abosia, ekokro bosia, susu account, ene da so wɔ hɔ savings account, me bada chain savings account, ene de akeka ho. Suhum Rural Bank was 034229186. Na won so wetumi aka sɛ
Suhum Rural Bank ama ene mayeka owner.
Suhum Rural Bank enti me pa minie.
Suhum Rural Bank, growing our heritage.
Welcome back. I'm still your host, Emmanuel Jr., the Chief Crusader Against Corruption here in Ghana. At the right time, there's a product here. I mentioned to you last week that I'll be introducing a new product to you. And at the right time, I'm going to talk about it for you to know why it is here. And it is called Efie Instant Fufu. We are talking about Ghana's independence, 69 years on. Ironically, we have two types of independence. The first one is what is termed as the political independence. And the second one is what is termed as the economic independence. 69 years ago, Ghana attained political independence. It was led by Osajifo, and we'll be going through the slides very soon. But the truth of the matter is that 69 years after our independence, we are still struggling with political independence, and we've not had the opportunity of having a single leader that is focused on leading us to economic independence. And so here we are looking at the highs and the lows of Ghana's 69th independence. Clearly, we all know that on 6 March 57, we became independent, led by Kwame Nkrumah, as I indicated. It's presented, it was more of like the first country in the sub-Saharan African side to gain independence from the colonial masters. And so we are looking at the challenges, we are looking at all that it entails. Can we look at the second slide? This is brief historical background, and I'm doing this for the purposes of those who may not know. Ghana was formerly called the Gold Coast. It was colonized by the United Kingdom. The territory was rich in gold, cocoa, and timber. After the World War II, nationalist movements began demanding self-governance, and that is what we did. So there was this self-governance that we wanted, and that's where the agitation started, leading to the independence that has brought us to where we are now. The next slide. This is the road to the independence we had. 49, Nkrumah founded the CPP. The CPP adopted the slogan known as the self-government now. There was a mass mobilization, strikes, and activism, which increased pressure on colonial authorities. Elections in the 1950s showed strong support for independence. And so this is how it started, the agitation started. And that is it. We move to the independence in 57. So we had, from the 50s, where we had the notion that, we needed self-governance now. Finally, 57, we had the independence. We had the celebration which took place at the Black Star Square in Accra. And Nkrumah declared Ghana as an independent country. And what was so interesting was that the famous statement he made, which was that we need, Ghana cannot, the independence of Ghana is meaningless unless it is linked up with the other African states. So that is what also happened. Then we came to the other one. Ghana became a symbol of hope for Africans' liberation movement. The journey from 57 to 1966, it was led by Kwame Nkrumah. So Kwame Nkrumah became the president. 1966, there was a military coup that removed Kwame Nkrumah from power. So from 66 to 81, there was a period of alternating military and civilian government. So that is where we have the military government coming in. We also had civilians coming in like Hela Liman, later Rawlings. Between that, around that period, Rawlings was also one of the military leaders. He had not come into the civilian rule yet. So 81 to 92, we had another military rule, and that was it under Rawlings. Then came the 92, which gave birth to the Fourth Republic. So the Fourth Republic started in 1992 era. Now let's look at some of the major achievements, the democracy and the peace that we have chugged throughout this period. Now Ghana is considered one of Africa's most stable democracies. There has been peaceful transfers of power between political parties, especially in this Fourth Republic from 92. We have seemingly a strong democratic institutions such as the EC and such as the courts. And there are more, in this democracy or this republic from 92 to date, we've had about 8 successful democratic elections, and that is fair indeed. If you look at our history from 52 to date, or 57 to date, when we had the independence to date, the democracy or the republic that has stayed longer has to do with the 92 democracy. In other words, the 92 constitution has been the longest constitution we've ever had since independence. We look at economic progress. We have major sectors including cocoa production, gold mining, oil and gas, agric and services. We have the Ghana Cocoa Board that regulates the cocoa sector. We have the Bank of Ghana that manages monetary policy. Indeed, Ghana is among the top cocoa producers in the world, and that we all know. As to whether that is translating into us having effective and good economy, that is another thing for another conversation we can have. Commercial oil production began in the year 2010 under His Excellency Kufuor, that's John Ejekum Kufuor. Social development. We've had expansion of public universities and schools. That's very fair. We've had the introduction of the free SHS, health improvements through hospitals and clinic, implementation of the National Health Insurance Scheme. There are a number of things that has happened under social development, but there are some challenges. Major challenges include economic instability, and that includes inflation and public debt. We have depreciation of the Ghanaian cedi. We have corruption in public institutions. We have youth unemployment. We have environmental destruction from illegal mining, galamsey. The list is endless, and I believe when the phone line is activated, those of you who will call in or have the opportunity to share your views, you may want to add to the list. So it is endless, and we have it there. But look at the key national statistics. Ghana's population is about 33 million. Our GDP is between 70 to 75 billion dollars. Urbanization, we have over 55% of citizens living in the cities. Major exports include gold, cocoa, and oil. About 57% of the population is under 25 years old. So it tells you that we have a large population that is youth. So Ghana is a youthful country, thereabout. Beyond the internal, the micro, let's look at the macro. One of it is that Ghana participates in ECOWAS peacekeeping missions. The other one is that the country plays an important diplomatic role in West Africa. Ghana often hosts international conferences and organizations. It is widely seen as a model for democratic governance in Africa. And so beyond internal activities, we've also been able to expand our presence beyond the borders of Ghana. Some achievements includes democratic stability, education, expansion and economic progress. Some challenges include economic instability, corruption, and youth unemployment. Future priorities include economic diversification, good governance, and sustainable resource management. And so, in summary, or as a way of introduction, this is how far Ghana has come. This is where Ghana has found itself in this past 69 years. This is where Ghana has found itself. It gives you a fair idea. But as I indicated earlier, my focus this evening has to do with our inability to move this country from just celebrating political independence. What makes it so difficult for us as a country to be able to have a second form of independence known as economic independence? It is so pathetic that right after Nkrumah leading this country, for us to have the political independence that we achieved in the year 1957, specifically on 6 March, we've had so many different leaders, political leaders. We've had civilians as presidents. We've had military personnel as leaders, and yet none of them has been able to lead this country into an economic independence. And what we are rather doing is that we've been able to move the entire country to limit its thinking and its expectations to just politics. So we are just okay with political independence when other countries are moving on. Countries that started with us, and we always make reference to some countries, Singapore and the rest. They have been able to move from political independence to economic independence. And Ghana is still comfortable, 69 years old. We are still comfortable with political independence. We have politicized all our institutions, recruitment even into our national offices and positions, particularly with the security sector. We have politicized it. Institutions that are supposed to be independent, we have politicized those institutions. Heads of institutions who are supposed to be independent, they are all saluting political figures because it is the politicians who appoint them. Civil society organizations, some or most, that are supposed to be independent and they are supposed to be a watchdog, they have reduced themselves into partisan and political. Churches, traditional leaders, our chiefs, our queen mothers, some of them, and all the categories I'm mentioning, obviously I'm not saying 100%, but most of them or some of them have reduced or allowed politicians to bring them to the level of politics. And so all we think about is political independence, and we are not thinking anything about economic independence. It is so sad that not long ago, still moving on towards the 69th anniversary, not long ago, we had a finance minister going to get a loan for this country and thought it was an achievement. And so he decided to organize a kinky party to celebrate a loan, going to beg for money. You organize a party. I don't know whether he took some of the loan to organize the party, or do we had some money in the coffers that he decided to use that one to organize the party. But that tells us the mindset and the kind of thinking that some of our leaders do have. That it is all about political. Not long ago, you heard, and I heard, a number of people who are supposed to be leaders telling presidents that the best legacy you can leave is that when you are leaving office, you hand over to your own party. So it is all about political campaigning, it's all about elections, and nothing about economic independence. I mean, today, I chanced on something which I was like, well, even though I'm so disappointed, I'm not so surprised, because that is the caliber of leaders we've been having over the past years, where a certain member of parliament decided to go and share sanitary pad to our children in one school in her constituency. And on her way, she decided to develop a song and went to the school, taught the children how to sing the song, gave the parts to the students, and had a camera videoing these kids waving the parts, and they were singing the song in a form of appreciating her, the MP, and the president, the sitting president. And I asked myself, is this the caliber of leaders we have sitting in parliament, formulating policies for us? But I'm not so surprised, because you see, as I indicated, if someone thinks that sharing a pad, how much is a pad? That if we've been thinking of economic independence, I don't think it would take a leader, a president, to be sharing free pads. Neither will it take political leaders to be sharing free pads. Economic independence simply means that we have parents, we have people who have children, and because of the economic, how favorable the economy is, they will be in a position, if not to get anything for their children, at least sanitary pad, they should be in a position to buy for their children. And yet we have certain member of parliament seeing this to be an achievement. You shouldn't be surprised, because we had a minister of finance celebrating, having a kinky party, just because he's been able to go and borrow money and bring into this country. And so why do we think that it is so difficult for us to have economic independence? Is it that we've not been able to have someone who is, or a leader who thinks like Nkrumah, who was able to give us political independence, for him to say that, well, now that we have political independence, we are also going to make sure that I'm going to give you what we call economic independence. I'm going to activate the phone lines, and the phone lines should be activated now because I want to hear your views on this. Remember, I told you that we are looking at the 69th anniversary celebration of Ghana. Are you proud how far we have come as a country? 69 years old. Are we proud? Are we proud that we've gotten to a stage, and the stage we find ourselves, we are still heavily dependent on foreign aid. We are still heavily dependent on exporting our materials in their raw states. That we are not thinking of economic independence, but all we are thinking about has to do with political independence. Is this the kind of country, or is this the kind of country that you wish you were having 69 years old? Call in and share your views and share your comments whilst I go through some of the messages that have come in here. But there are one or two things, or some of the questions that I also want you to ponder over whilst we look at it. Let me just look at one or two questions that I need us to ponder over. So, has Ghana fulfilled the vision of independence after 69 years? It's a good question that I want you to think about. What is Ghana's biggest achievement that you can say as a Ghanaian you are proud of? There's one other area that it looks like it keeps reoccurring, and that has to do with corruption. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Bruhan, calling from Yendi.
Your name is?
Bruhan, calling from Yendi.
Yendi, please go ahead.
With respect to the Ghana 69 celebration that we just had, to me, it is disheartening because Ghana as a country, we shouldn't be limiting it to only us, sort of us to be thinking how Kwame Nkrumah and the other people who are having the great mindset of how Africa will develop. We should rather be concerned about Africa as a whole and make sure we collaborate with other African leaders for Africa to stand in a one bonded way, so that we will not be having a division whereby a country will be having to defend itself when issues come. You see this military bases that we are just having, with America having their military bases in Africa, other nations like China and all of that having their military bases in Africa. They are up to take over. When things are harder, we will not even be having the choice to either give or not give. It will be taken by force. So I think we should concern about Africa rather than having the mind of concentrating on the Ghana. Ghana on itself, based on the political aspect that they are having, yes, it's important that they are going on.
I agree. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your view. Next caller, your name and where you are calling from?
Your friend Abdullah is free Takwa.
Abdullah, Takwa from what is saying? Yetio.
The crime person can say. Or so Ghana need the addition to say. Yeah, independence, a better brain. Yeah, politics is or mine. It is a brain on Kayan to NPP, NDC, any politics, no, any day, and Tonkone. Yan teacher or mine. Me and Dan Obi for the 16 years, me and Concord Dan Obi Dim. I was saying, because yes, he said, this is in Diaba, Nani Diaba, and Kuruma policy, no, yet yes, San Kofa. Your raw materials be dear or mine. I guess to say, yes, he could cry the aquaform. I didn't tell a young dear factories, Emma Cocono, yen fine young co aman and sat up in dear near found Concord this ember or mine, and crab a cretiduma. And a second. sisi ano se mo pese akra ekwan no asenti free so a this agiba kwa me kan se mo station o manteniti train mo sanfandro train kwa be sa create juma bebre ama oman no mo da me train no nti obi friend me kwa mo obi abedi nti train mo nka na train ya de esambra ebetimi afa bukina for ne California makwa no kwa be de diska magana
very very important and that's why I was saying and that's made us Abdullah, thank you so much and nothing and I make earlier say no by the reason why we are where we are, it looks like we are stagnating. Yejina baby fakum, because the focus has always been on politics and it has nothing to do with economy. Until we are celebrating 69 years, it looks like we should be tired of having political independence celebration. We should move into economic independence celebration. Caller, your name and where you are calling from? Hello?
Hello?
Your name and where you are calling from?
My name is Nana Kwatu. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Meet you, Nana.
Yo, Mr. Mo yi de mo ka brofuna na mo se de na de ma da de o se ja. Ya jama cha ka bi di na ajaja frama na wo so o do ma hu se mo tutu ya ni mu de. Se ajaja da ka bi ye si ye nyina ye da cha. Unsamwa wakan sami papa we are seeing Bob Laboko in the Ghana Fisher a Dusian Chrono dear. Young Casemum ye be dear, and get a chance so moon asking we know. If he says the Wishimua Ghana no, a Shasiano, a self one been a Bibamuno, a bin be dear Yamopa. Na ye ka asem no a champion say e jane o di duma pa o champion di duma even crowd ya register Lawrence o ye from the card of the but e bi ma mo de yan so ye ba fourth republic penny phone bi mo de kra so you ya na kan the politics ne de yan fa ye nyina to man na so ya ka say kim kakra so Mr. Muhammad Kanka media o se fe o se de ka fro wa me na ni ada ho pa won se ni ade na ti eti ni mo ti kakra na eti ni so e momoden na ye betumi aye ni a chance so people say anka the 21st century papa water shortage electricity in naso manu na da bia hwese na no ye mo wagadugu sikuru wagadugu sabi agana sa sipa ye o wagadugu ko ye ko fa ento sinumni anema e was ya bo se be bia ye we Ghana beyond it numne Ghana we want anema no enye ayo rhetoric
you can hear to wasipa next caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening.
Good evening, Pacho Dean.
Your friend Martin is me Kasafri Dabala Junction voter region.
Matthew, Yetio, we are listening.
Ghana the Jaye Kono. Nyama Ajinsam. Sankamema Kumuma. And I say go back to military rule. Now you know be able to Akita Ghana at least 10 years. Nanka nyama asisa nyama tunya sisa kakra ansa na yedi democracy baba hwe na ansa ya kenu for ta hwe yesika bibi odi ya kodu sanka meti wo fu sa for ta obetumi ajana ko she America maimu anka sese bi ya kina jao enti say go back to military rule at least yem now be mambe so Ghana mo at least 69 years of democracy, independent, but still, you so area. And nothing in Poo. We are cutting a Dominicaco baby. At least we should go back to military rule.
Thank you so much, Medasipa. So, next caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Udini baby Akasefi.
Yeah, boss. I saw MP.
Your name again, Udini?
MP. Sevilla.
Ofrefi in Sefia.
In Sevilla,
Achuma will be a jamati. Impacho Etio.
That was my, let me tell MC Ukumpo Honorable Road Osebwama actually we get MC.
Go straight to the point. Hello. What's your main camp? Me pacho. Ona so o kasefino. Aha, good. Me pacho me say go straight to the point. In Crawford online is unti any tell.
Let me say, the can say about we buy no. No man that you know say about that name ye I will care the case somebody campaign that you know come. Am I there also? It's a the cast really don't touch in any if you are here. You see still be out from Kakra. I'm not forgetting a bonnet to say near Bagana for the more than the apple. So who obviously that so many this community. I don't say just want to but you see I want to almost because you for one price. This by
thank you so much. Me that's it. Next caller, your name and where you are calling from?
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Winneba, Central Region.
The name, your name?
Yeah, maybe Sadiq Mensa.
Sadiq, it's you.
Yeah, the pacho me so near Hamadi Kaka. I want to say, I'm saying now amo it's like boys maybe a human fan, police, immigration, and we but quite I buy anything first no in fact pa because category A omo mukita ya ka MVTI omo akra so no mo ka say MVTI o say ye adwuma no omo disqualify MVTI for ni na chairman
Mate, me just are buying it you. Sadiq Medase. Yeah. All right. Do you have the next caller on the line? Yes. Welcome to Politics and Beyond. Udini baby Akasefi.
Yeah. I'm calling from fishing.
The name again?
Robert, I'm calling from fishing.
Okay, please go ahead.
Actually, I'm very sad.
Your line is not so clear. Can you say what? Can you repeat it?
Okay. Yes, I'm very sad as a Ghanaian because of what happened to a young man that I heard of that went to the forest to hunt an animal, and he was inside. While someone who destroyed the forest.
Can you recall? Can you call again? I'm sure when you call the next time it will be okay. Do you have a caller on the line? Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Your name and where you are calling from?
I'm Mr. Kwao. I'm calling from Teshi.
It looks like we are losing. Your name and where you are calling from?
Teshi. Hello. Hello.
I'm not sure whether it is from my end here, but I can hardly hear you.
I'm going for Teshi.
Good. Please say it again. The name?
Mr. Kwaf.
Mr. Kwaf. Okay, from Teshi. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Person Kachi Kakra.
Teshi, they sent out to me can't cry.
You offer me to my gift you. And
yeah.
Okay. You are doing come on then no bo. Mobile wa. Mobile. Okay. 69 years. 69 years.
Yeah.
Ni one independent. No bell road. Kaje no bell double road. Kaje ga. Kaje kumase. Obeko. Eya bravo keke. Me where you good, where you dam, one cha oye, Diana Kang, oye no, no block, oye no, Kang no, no, Kang no, one man no. One Kang no, one was no, you no, no, me the block money oye. Instead of what I see, Tata, Nimamba, Bana, Domana, $1 back. That's why they were petrol, ebas. Aka o that's why $1 back here, many bash any year, and Bamuno. I do my woman was your mammy, why a jolly, I pray, children may bad, no bedroom. Miss Anne, for your tile. For your tile, financial minister, Embeleo.
So what Mr. Kwafu was just talking about has to do with the fact that 69 years on, and we can't even boast of dual road from Accra to Kumasi. And it is disheartening, among other things. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello, caller. Do you still have the caller on the line? I can't hear. Okay, so whilst I'm sure the technical team will work on that, we are still asking. Hello, caller, can you hear me? Good. Hello.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
I'm calling from Vita Region.
What? Your name?
I'm from. I'm a Vita.
The name. Your name.
69 years. 69 good years. Nyaku ami atuga na koya broshi. Kafava dagu braveneni. Koya broshi. Kafava dagu braveneni. Enye mpe mashi okolo no mede. Nene ole flemu. Kaflache. Yafa minister. Yafa chief justice. Ubo for 2 years du mole. Jinuku kui. No be for a family. Ma wonwa. I want go le Ghana. Yeah, for a public sector, so over for two government. You come over for two. So the payment to the government is bigger, too much. So you have to reduce their monthly salary and then the allowances. So 59 years, then the food work for Ghana, then we transfer to overseas, and then they brought them to Ghana again. It's very, very bad. Very bad.
I agree. Thank you so much. The only platform that allows you to speak all the Ghanaian languages. Thank you so much, bro. So next caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. I'm going to translate what he said to you very
Mohammed
soon.
from Dakuma.
Your name?
Mohammed.
Dakuman, please go ahead.
Yemita say me can say what we say. Ye Ghana for no ankasani ye nyatu. Yama me can say abanu ba ye no wa titi no maso. Yesu su yen titi solo ye si debi. Nibanu wo ton no manu no onya profit 10 cedis. I say onya 10 cedis no. I didn't do it doesn't work like that. And they say ye ankasa Yesu say Yesu buy. Yesu buy ye. Oh, bakubi ba o si yenya soja ni ba rollis ba musi mumpe rollis. Sa na mudi tata nwa. Enti ade mu se etesi ye Yesu buy.
Very important. Mohammed Metwa.
Yesu buy.
I agree with you.
Yesu buy na enye.
Very well. That is true. Mohammed, thank you so much. In addition to say, yeah, but leadership no sombono yen as citizens, and so we have a role to play. And when I say and so your best society suba, the mindset must change, and that is what Mohammed is saying. Thank you so much. Next caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Udin. Your name and where you are calling from?
I call from Navarungu.
Where?
Navarungu.
Your name, please.
My name is Justice Abu.
Justice, please go ahead.
I want to speak with my language.
I'll not be able to interpret that. And so if you can do the English, I'll be so happy, please. Or you can do both. You can do both. Mix it up.
Okay.
Yes. And it should be very brief.
69 years. The penny for a be more baby. A disorder be a proper. na kakra mi waka me say me no say anya yɛmpanyinfo no nyinaa na ebi aboro ebi mo di aboro ebi so adobo ogbomode but empire na nka me born say 59 years we no nka yanya hwe kura de efi akra ba kuma se de ekwan no dem ebu obi a because obi a fema obi a wubi ntimpaya me bone se yempanyifo no ndc aban ontuma anya hwe kura de akra to kuma se de omunya kwan no maye ya me waka no.
So my justice. And so the okay and one Mr. Kwafun so kind. Caller, welcome to politics.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Me the Mamplogi in Bamboy.
Mini joke.
I saw me two floors.
Hello. Mamplogi. Okay.
Mamplogi Bamboy speaker.
TV, reduce the volume on the set. Theophilus, reduce the volume. Mamplogi
Bamboy speaker. Almost about 3 years. Hello.
In 3 years, reduce TV. OTV reduce money work basani.
Yeah, go now. Hello.
You might be there.
I saw the two floors with the argument. Hello. Hello.
Two floors. Oh boy, you read TV and no one knew here. Sorry, I did what I could for you, but unfortunate. So next caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond. Hello, next caller. Ofane, can you take 2 floors off so that we can concentrate on the next caller? Welcome to Politics and Beyond. All right, so let me just go through what Nyebro said in the Ewe language. All he was saying was that 69 years on, we as a country we've been sending our oil outside for refinery. Why can't we train our people so that they will do it here? And he concludes by saying it is really bad. So that is what he said in the Ewe language. Let me read 1 or 2 messages. This is quite long, but let me still read. It says, "Hello, Mr. Wilson. Sorry for a long test, but I didn't realize how much the topic of independence will stir something in me. We could spend an entire day unpacking it, but let me share a brief thought." Okay, so let me do the last caller before I come to the text messages. And you will be the last caller. Caller, welcome to Politics and Beyond.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, my name is Mohammed. I'm calling from Fisherman's House.
The name again.
Hello?
Udin Biem. Also Udin the same.
I'm talking to Mohammed because of Fisherman's House.
Mohammed Koso.
Yes.
Mohammed Kasayitio. Hello. Okay. Unfortunately, Mohammed could not utilize the opportunity of being the last caller. So this will be the end of the call-in segment. So let me continue with the messages. So I start again. This one says, "Hello, Mr. Wilson. Sorry for a long test, but I didn't realize how much the topic of independence will stir something in me. We could spend an entire day unpacking it, but let me share a brief thought. Whenever I hear fellow Africans speak proudly of Ghana, wishing their own countries had our political stability and economic progress, I feel both pride and sadness. Pride because Ghana has indeed achieved things many nations still strive for. Sadness because beneath that pride lies a reality that is far more complicated. How proud can we truly be when economic decisions have placed such heavy financial burdens on future generations? How proud can we be when posterity prosperity seems to serve mainly the wealthy, while many ordinary citizens struggle for basic opportunities. When preventable deaths occur because hospitals lack the most basic resources. And as a mother of 2 girls, I wonder what pride should look like in a society where leaders can both champion and diminish the dignity of young women in the same breath, turning what should be a basic human right into a spectacle. And I'm sure you are making reference to that member of parliament who went to share pad and was proud about it, telling the girls to wave the pad, something that is supposed to be private, to wave the sanitary pad and be singing song. That's the kind of leaders, or some leaders, that we have in this country. Yes, Ghana has come far, but pride to me should not silence honest reflection. If anything, it should challenge us to expect more. At 69, many people are preparing for retirement, and perhaps nations too must pause to reflect on their journey. So if you ask whether I am proud, my answer is this: we have reason to be hopeful, but we must also admit that we can and must do better. This is a beautiful message that has come in. This one says, Mr. Wilson, my question is that a Fenyo marking slapping a police officer on duty and a poor hunter going to the bush to hunt for a grass cutter, which one is a serious crime? You see how wicked and biased this current, and it goes on and it goes on. All right, Abdul Samed, thank you for your message. This one says, Mr. Wilson, please tell President Mahama to stop doing good face and go after the criminals who had stolen our resources. Ghanaians have given President Mahama all that he needs with super majority in parliament. He has no excuse to fail us. He said he wants to leave a legacy, and we have given him all the arsenals needed to fulfill that mission. And this is Sakura, from Sakura Man. Okay, not where you're from, but Sakura Man. Okay, because of time, let me see what else I can make out of this. But I'll come back to the messages. These are some questions that I want us to ponder on. That 69 years old, what reforms are needed to strengthen the economy? Remember, I told you my focus is on economic independence. Enough with the political independence. Enough with celebrating one thing 69 years over and over and over. Doesn't mean that, but for the political independence, 69 years on, we can't boast of any other significant achievement equivalent of the political independence that we can still celebrate. Next year is 70 years. Are we still going to celebrate political independence? 70 years, and we've not been able to have a single leader that has what it takes to lead us into economic independence. How can Ghana protect its environment? 69 years, we are still struggling with illegal mining. The youth unemployment. Most of the youth are seen and moving around, without having proper guide and guidance. And yet we are 69 years and we are celebrating it. 69 years old. And as I indicated, we are celebrating going to borrow money with Kinky Party. 69 years old and we are celebrating sharing of sanitary pad and making it even public. Recording it and putting it on social media and other media houses, calling it an achievement from a certain member of parliament. Oh, please, we can do better. We can honestly do better. Now, what should Ghana focus on in the next 20 years? These are questions that we keep asking ourselves. So we are here. If for nothing at all, we must start asking ourselves, just like the tester, one of the testers asked, we must ask ourselves, as a country, what do we keep celebrating? It is okay. And it looks like this year's celebration was also hyped so much on social media with everyone going for Ghana jersey. That's beautiful. Patriotism, that is beautiful. But beyond that, what's next? That's the question we should be asking ourselves. This one says, Mr. Wilson, the late President Kwame Nkrumah won independence with veranda boys such as K.A. Bedema, Kojobutu, Krobo Eduse, Kesley Hayford, N.A. Welbeck, and the rest. In printing new Ghana currency, we want the icons of these formidable persons to appear. All right, that's fine. My question is, why should the Ghana immigration disqualify we, the NVTI holders? Yeah, this is a question that was raised earlier. So I think the one who sent it, you didn't add your name. Either you or somewhat similar to you called in and shared the same position. So that is it. Now, in wrapping up, there's something I want to share with you, and it is important because it is an avenue, particularly for those of you who needs employment. There's a product on the market, a new product that is fast moving, and it is speedily being accepted, and it is called Efie Instant Fufu. It is one of the best. I have tried it a number of times, and this is it. Efie Instant Fufu, I've tried it a number of times, and I tell you, it is just like the way we prepare our traditional food. What is beautiful is the content. This is 100% cassava and plantain. Those of you who love fufu and goes in for instant fufu, when you buy, look at the ingredients and you realize that there are other products on the market that has other things added to the cassava and the plantain for it to be given the taste and the flavor and the color. But this is 100%, and that is why I've allowed it on my TV show. It is 100%, and I'm encouraging each and every one of you who loves fufu to look for this product. The other thing that is interesting about this product is that if you want to be a distributor of this product, I'm going to give a number. I'm going to share a number that you can call and discuss with the producers of this product. That is, if you want to be a distributor of it. In fact, the number should be here. So the number to call is 054 599 3438. And I'm taking my time to read it again. I'll mention it again. 054 599 3438. 054 599 3438. If you want to be a distributor in Accra, in any part of the country, Eastern, Central, Western, Ashanti, think of, just mention any of the regions. Be a distributor by calling the number that I have mentioned. This is Efie Instant Fufu. You cannot go wrong. If you are a lover of fufu, you cannot go wrong by purchasing this, and you cannot also go wrong if you end up becoming a distributor, because it is in high demand because of its quality, the nutritional value. As I indicated, it is 100% cassava and 100% plantain. The number again is 054 599 3438. Efie Fufu Instant Fufu, and that is what you can get from it. In wrapping up, as I indicated, there are a number of messages that have come through. I'm trying to see if I can just read one or two of it, but okay, let me read this because this seems to be a message that has come a few times. So let me read it for the viewer. It says, Mr. Wilson, please. Okay. Mr. Wilson, good evening. The Attorney General is failing to prosecute Afenyo Markin for hitting a police officer on duty twice, and that makes him the worst appointee under this government. In conclusion, he's telling the world that if an MP kills a citizen intentionally, that he will defend and protect that MP. And this is a big shame. And this is coming from Abdul Samed. It looks like this issue of Afenyo Markin, a lot of the viewers are so interested in. So, Attorney General, I'm not really sure the state of this case. Maybe I'll find it out in course of the week, and next week I'll come and update you, my viewer. But the Attorney General, I know you are viewing this show because you do watch this show. Please, citizens are asking that what is the update? What is the issue coming from this? Last weekend, I was in Ebri, and it was so amazing to know that citizens of Ebri are so much in love with politics and beyond. Regina Kwafo, I want to express my gratitude to you and your sisters and all the individuals in Ebri that saw me and told me how much they are glued to this show every Monday. Thank you so much. And so goes to Boatin of La Paz. You rushed to me when you saw me and you were telling me how much you learned from this platform. And I believe there are a lot of such individuals across the country. Thank you so much for making this show speedily your number one transformative program on air as far as Ghana is concerned. All too soon, this is where time will allow us. Next week, we'll go into another interesting arena or area. But whilst we wait for next week, between now and next week, ponder over this that we've discussed. 69 years of Ghana's independence. How proud are we? Why are we not able to move from political to economic independence? It is time for us as citizens to refocus and now start discussing economic issues devoid of partisan lenses. We need a second independence, and that has to do with economic independence. Political independence, we have it, and we are grateful to Nkrumah and all that. It is time for us to have a leader who will say that he's leading us as a country, just as it's happening in Singapore and other places. He's leading us as a country called Ghana into an economic independence. So we meet again next week. My name is Emmanuel Wilson Jr., and all I can say for now is good night.